There is a love that does not come with loud voices. It is not born from declarations under the spotlight, nor is it announced with official statements that force the world to believe. That love comes slowly, like a breath that is imperceptible, but whose absence leaves the chest tight. Like the first rain that falls silently, but leaves a lingering scent. And in that silence, two names continue to echo in the hearts of many, Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai. There are no cries of "we are together." There are no excessive declarations of love. But precisely because of that, everything feels more honest, more human, and far more painful for those who are too sensitive not to feel it. Song Weilong always seemed like someone who kept the world behind his calmness. His face was serene, his eyes rarely fully open, as if he chose silence as the safest language. Zhao Jinmai was different. He carried honesty in every glance, an unforced gentleness, and expressions that often preceded words. When the two were in the same room, something changed. The air felt heavier. The pauses felt longer. It was as if time deliberately slowed down just to give way to feelings that had not yet been dared to be spoken. At first, it all felt like coincidence. Meeting after meeting, togetherness wrapped in professionalism, smiles that seemed normal to the average person. But for those who paid attention with their hearts, there was a small vibration that kept repeating itself. A vibration that could not be explained by logic. A vibration that only those who have fallen in love without planning can understand. No one can point to a specific moment and say, "This is where it all began." Because love like this has no clear starting point. It grows from ordinary conversations that feel too comfortable, from awkward silences, from a sense of security that comes without being asked, from the presence of someone who makes the world feel a little lighter. On some occasions, the words they say sound simple, not dramatic, not explicitly romantic, but that is precisely where the beauty lies. The sentences that come out are not meant to convince the public, but rather like a dialogue with oneself. About tranquility, about understanding each other, about how someone's presence can make the day feel more reasonable. There are sentences that sound like ordinary reflections, but are poignant for anyone who is sensitive. About how someone feels calmer when there is someone who understands their silence. About how togetherness does not always have to be explained. These sentences never mention the word love, but every letter is filled with a feeling that is too deep to be called mere coincidence. This kind of love is often misunderstood. Many try to reduce it to rumors, fan illusions, or entertainment industry strategies. But human feelings always have their own language. There are things that cannot be learned, cannot be trained, and cannot be completely faked. A gaze that lingers a fraction of a second longer than it should. A small smile that appears before realizing you are being watched. The way the body reflexively searches for one particular person in a crowd. All of that is too honest to be considered fabricated. This feeling does not grow like a fire that burns immediately. It grows like roots. Slowly, quietly, but it binds strongly. The longer it lasts, the harder it is to uproot. And perhaps that is what makes it so thrilling. Because love that grows slowly is often the deepest love. It does not come to dominate, but to stay. Fans became silent witnesses to this journey. There were no official invitations, no big announcements. Yet thousands of hearts felt involved. Social media became a space for collective emotion. Some cried without knowing exactly why. Some smiled, feeling warmth in their hearts. Others simply sat silently, staring at their screens, feeling as if a small piece of hope for love had finally returned. Many said that they didn't need recognition, that the most important thing was happiness. The sentence sounded simple, but it held a maturity that not everyone possessed. because loving from afar meant being ready to accept whatever the outcome. Whether this story continued or ended as a beautiful chapter that was never officially titled. What makes it all feel even more touching is the fact that there is no pressure to prove anything, no demand to label it, no obligation to satisfy public curiosity, just two people who seem to be learning about their own feelings in the midst of a world that always wants to know faster than the heart. Love in this form is fragile. It is easily misunderstood, easily attacked, easily destroyed by expectations. But it is precisely because it is fragile that it feels real. It feels alive. It feels close to anyone who has ever been afraid to fall in love because they know how painful it is to lose. Not all love needs to be announced. Not all feelings need to be labeled. There is love that lives in small gestures, in prayers never spoken aloud, in the courage to protect, not to show off. There is love that chooses to remain silent because it knows that too many words can hurt. Is this the beginning of a long story to be written together? Or just a beautiful stopover in each other's life journey? No one knows. And perhaps it doesn't need to be known now, because some things lose their meaning when forced to be explained. What is clear is that, at this moment, many people believe again that love still exists. That in the midst of a fast-paced world, there are still feelings that choose to move slowly. That behind the spotlight-filled industry, there are still people who dare to be honest with their own hearts, even without the words, "I love you." If love could be written, then this story would be prose that doesn't seek an ending. If love could be felt, then this story would be a subtle vibration that lingers in the chest. And if love doesn't always have to be possessed, then perhaps just watching it grow is more than enough. Two names continue to echo. Song Weilong Zhao Jinmai, not as mere sensation, but as a reminder that true love is often silent. It simply exists. And for those who are willing to listen with their hearts, its presence feels very, very real. In the end, love does not always need recognition. It does not have to be announced. It does not have to be labeled. And it does not have to be understood by everyone. Sometimes, love is enough to be present, in small gestures of care, in unassuming silence, and in the courage to protect, not to show off. Whether this story will continue, or just become a beautiful chapter without a title, one thing is certain. Tonight, many hearts believe in love again. If you also feel the same vibration, if this story touches your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and write in the comments section. In your opinion, is this just a feeling? Or is love finding its way? See you in the next story.